What up, y'all? Gully Boy back at you with a brand new video, and right about now, I'm about to go ahead and kick off a new series that's bound to make people upset. For this video, I'm going to be talking about songs from artists that I personally think are overrated. These tracks are oftentimes hyped up by the masses, but if you ask me, these songs aren't that great, and some of them are just downright bad. Now, I must stress the fact that these are my opinions, and if you get mad, I'm gonna suggest you go outside and holler at some hoes or something, cause it's not that serious.
2 and 3 and 4 and get them sit-ups right and tuck your tummy tight.
Even when I was a kid, I didn't care for this song. Kanye had many more bangers during this time, and this was just a fun throwaway dance track. I don't think the song is horrible, but it's definitely not up there with tracks like All Falls Down, Jesus Walks Him Through the Wire. Another thing about the College Dropout album in general is that I didn't really care for the skits. All the school spirit skits are something I'm not dying to hear again, and the lead up track to the new workout plan is a skit simply named Workout Plan. This is another skit off this album that I didn't care for. The girl's high-pitched voice is incredibly annoying, which is definitely not something I'm trying to hear over and over again. Then we get into the song itself. I don't care for the instrumental, as the violins are a bit overbearing. Kanye's flow is okay, as it's for the purpose to get you dancing. The thing I like the most about this track is the concept. Kanye has a new workout plan for women, so they can look good in order for them to get with a rapper or a basketball player. They will go from being a cashier to riding in the latest cars with their new baller boyfriend. Kanye walks them through various exercises in order to get their bodies nice and tight. But the concept is where this song ends for me, as it drags for 5 minutes with not much appeal. Near the end of this track, the beat switches, with the additional performance with someone singing on a voice box. This is another section of this track that I don't care for, but at least we got a future bop out of the ending melody. If you know, you know. All in all, I don't think this is a terrible song, as I understand the purpose of it, but it's definitely overrated when we start talking about the College Dropout.
It's amazing, I'm the reason everybody fired up.
I'm not gonna lie, hearing this song in passing is definitely a vibe. I vividly remember hearing the So Amazing singing portions during NBA commercial breaks when I used to watch basketball. I don't watch that shit no more. But every time I used to hear portions of this track being played, I was always like, that's fire. This is until I heard the full song, of course. Sitting down and actually listening to the song highlighted its many flaws. First off, Kanye's auto-tune singing isn't all that great, and it's almost unbearable. It doesn't sonically sound pleasing, as it's the beginning stages of him experimenting with auto-tune. Now, I already know what y'all are gonna say in the comment section. How can you trash this song as it's innovative and birthed a new generation of rap? Just in case some of y'all are unaware of this, two things can be true at once. Just because this song and 808s and Heartbreak are influential, doesn't mean it's not a mediocre project filled with bad auto-tune performances from Kanye. This song most certainly falls into that category, as his performance isn't great here. The only catchy part of this song is when he recites So Amazing on the chorus. The instrumental is fairly decent. I like the gloomy feel to it, but it isn't anything special. I also like the inspirational concept, which involves Kanye reflecting on his fruitful career, which led to him achieving great things. Another major downside of this track is the last verse from Young Jeezy. In my opinion, his vocals are great on the chorus, as he recites his ad-libs during Kanye's singing performance.
So amazing, so amazing, it's amazing.
This is very reminiscent of Young Jeezy's constant ad-libs on the song Can't Tell Me Nothing. It works here as well, but what doesn't work is his rap verse. For me, I'm almost always turned off when one artist is doing something extremely unique on a track and the other artist provides a normal rap verse. In my opinion, that kills the creative aspect of the track, which makes it not flow well. I'm pretty sure Jeezy didn't want to mess with the auto-tune, and he told Kanye I'ma just rap my verse normally. I honestly feel like this track would have been a lot more interesting if he did, as his normal rap verse feels very out of place in my opinion. All in all, I can see why people like this song, but for me, it's highly overrated, as Kanye's performance isn't that good. Man, y'all was overhyping the hell out of this song when it came out. I still remember when y'all was on Twitter saying that this is one of the greatest songs Kanye's ever made. Now, what's crazy is that I already heard this song before people were overhyping it on social media. I listened to it in totality with the album Vultures 1, which was filled with unamusing performances and production. The production on this track is very unorthodox, which doesn't flow well in my opinion. I do like the beat itself, but the additional sounds and samples ruins it for me. The cringy chant throughout this song is another annoying element. I will never feel like I'm lit reciting, "Oh, she ride me like carnival." I will commend Kanye's creativity though, as he went out his way to have intermittent ultras to recite the chant portions of this track. But just because Kanye is a creative genius doesn't mean that everything he does is sonically enjoyable, and you don't have to force yourself to enjoy something that he does, which I think is what a lot of people do. This song also features verses from Rich the Kid, Ty Dolla $ign, and Playboi Carti. This is another downside of this track, as each of these artists have different sounds to their vocals, which doesn't flow well at all. Rich the Kid has the best verse on this song in my opinion, as his vocals fit more naturally with the hype instrumental. Ty Dolla $ign feels very out of place, as his R&B singing vocals don't match the vibe of this track at all. Kanye has the worst performance, as his overhyped flow doesn't sound appealing. He's also very animated during his verse, which comes off as being very pretentious. It feels like Kanye is trying to be the cool dad on this song, as his verse feels out of place as well.
And she said she ain't my dick. She gon' take it up the ass like a ventriloquist. I mean, sis.
Playboi Carti is just ass on this song, which doesn't surprise me as he's ass on the majority of tracks. His flow isn't appealing, and his lyrics aren't interesting as he doesn't say anything dope or funny. At least Kanye has some funny lines. This dude is just here being 100% ass with no redeeming quality. All in all, this is definitely one of Kanye's most overrated songs. I don't like much about it as it's all over the place sonically with a ton of unamusing performances. This is by far one of the most overrated Kanye songs of all time. After hearing this track again, I truly don't understand what people are hearing. I honestly feel like people only enjoy the instrumental, which is incredible. The slow soothing vibe is executed exceptionally, along with the gloomy singing voice. Kanye's verse is just okay. The hypeness of his verse doesn't match well with the soothing production. I know I said this track is amazing without the second half, but I'm taking this back as it's really not anything special. For those of you that don't know what I'm referring to, there's an original version of this song that appears on the Good Friday mixtape without the additional Rick Ross verse. I prefer this version over the one that's on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, as the second half ruins it. On the final version of this track, the soothing instrumental is interrupted by out of place guitar riffs. This completely ruins the vibe of an already fire instrumental. It seems like Kanye and the producers were trying to be overly creative when they didn't need to be. Another thing I didn't care about is Rick Ross's very hype verse. The way he sounds on this track doesn't flow well, as the hypeness of his verse doesn't match the vibe of the beat, which has been tampered with. The concept, on the other hand, is very interesting. What I got from it is Kanye and Rick Ross highlighting things that are masked in luxury. This refers to shiesty women and earning money in the dope game. As I said before, I feel like people only enjoy the production of this track. The beat is definitely good, but the performances weren't all that great in my opinion. Every time people start talking about Kanye's album My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, this is the main track that's mentioned, and it's not even better than a lot of tracks on this album. Hell, it's not even top 5 best on the album if you ask me. I have a lot of tracks over it as they're sonically better overall.
Someday.
Man, oh my god. I had no idea that this was one of the greatest Kanye West songs of all time. When I reviewed the album Ye, it was majorly filled with lackluster production and unamusing singing performances from Kanye and the guest features. In no way, shape, or form do I believe that this is one of Kanye's best albums, but many people do. I have never seen a song and album so overhyped in my life until I got around to reviewing this project, and it's very ironic that I believe that the worst song on this album is Ghost Town. Mind you, I had no idea that this song was revered as one of Kanye's best. I was simply listening to this project for myself, and I wasn't rocking with it. The reason I'm saying this is to address all the people commenting on my review of this album, saying that I purposely gave this project a bad rating. Let me say this, I don't do anything on purpose. All my reviews are honest, and I have no reason to fake my opinion, unlike other YouTubers we know. If I think a song or an album is bad, I'm gonna say it, as I took the time out to listen to it for myself. I'm not thinking about a bunch of Kanye stans thinking I'm rage baiting them. I don't care about y'all niggas at all. If you think this is a top 5 Kanye song, I don't care. But if you ask me, this track ain't even top 50 Kanye. First off, the singing vocals are bad for the most part. Party Next Door opens the track with fairly good singing vocals, only for it to be ruined by him mumbling nonsense at the end. Kid Cudi's singing vocals are just downright terrible, and this is what instantly ruined the song for me. The way he hits his notes made me go, what the hell was that? There's no way y'all thought that was fire. Kanye's singing performance isn't much better than Kid Cudi's. Kanye has way better singing performances by far, and don't get me started on the annoying singing vocals from the children at the end. Their vocals are sloppy, high-pitched, and extremely annoying.
I let go of everything that I know.
When I got to this portion of the track, it was the nail in the coffin of it being a terrible mess. I can honestly understand the appeal of this track as it's about liberation, but just because a song has a motivational concept and passionate performances doesn't automatically make it sonically enjoyable, as the performances are all around sloppy and all over the place. Another thing that I want to highlight is that I believe people are saying this is one of the best Kanye tracks, as is the popular thing to say. The reason I say this is because I like the second version of this track a whole lot better, as it's superior in every way. The funkadelic influence and singing vocals from Kanye, Ty Dolla $ign, and Kid Cudi are amazing. They also have more catchy elements to their vocals, which makes it a great listening experience. When I shared this opinion in my reviews, a gang of people didn't like the fact that I preferred the second version over the first. The reason why is because the first version is more popular. These people don't have reasons of why the first version is better, they're just saying it because it's the popular opinion. As you can see, I give reasons to why I like and dislike things, which is why people don't like me, as I'm not a follower and my opinions are not influenced by the popular opinion. Never have, never will be. In conclusion, Ghost Town is the most overrated Kanye West song of all time, as it's bad sonically and overhyped by the popular opinion.